Alright, hello YouTube, Agent92 here, bringing you guys a deck profile of the deck I've been remaining and continuing to play. I'm enjoying this deck too much. I've been taking it to like every locals I possibly can attend. Uh, I've taken this deck to about like, let's see, 5 locals so far and topped all of them except one. Um, one of them being because I got a draw. But I've been taking this to my locals, and they're pretty competitive. We got spellbooks and all that stuff. Spellbooks, elemental dragons, Geargia, Evil Swarm, Constellars, all those decks there. And this deck has been doing really good um, against them all. So let's get into the deck profile. I've been taking Brotherhood Fire Fist. I really like this deck. I've been enjoying how it plays really well. I've been changing up the build a lot though, because I didn't like the 3-axis build. If you guys have seen my previous video, because the 3-axis only has a 2-card combo right now, and I just didn't feel like it was that. What was it? I didn't feel like it was that good. So I've just been playing this. I went back to the rabbit build because I found that this was more consistent and a much better matchup. So yeah, let's get right into it, guys. First up, we got 3 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. Bear's great. Sorry for the fan noises, guys. It's really hot. But yeah, 3 Bear. Bear is great. It's attack with it. It's a good floater. Always gains attack from your fire formation spells and traps. When it hits your opponent, it does really good because then you can search for your Tenkies, your Tensus, all that good stuff. Next up, we play 1 dragon. I've seen people play 2. My friend was telling me to play 2. I'm not really sure how I feel about 2. I really don't like it because it's... maybe if I was playing like straight Fire Fist, I'd play more than 1. But because I'm playing the rabbit build, I feel like 1's only needed. Because this card's not that great at the top deck when you do top deck it. Because you don't want to draw a dragon until late game. And usually then you'll want to search it off with a Tenki. So 1 dragon's been doing great. Next up we got 1 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Buffalo. Buffalo's really great. I like Buffalo a lot. What he does, if you guys don't know him, if you guys don't know what he does, he sends 2 Fire Fist and or Fire Formation spells and traps from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard, and then you can special summon him from the grave. So he makes Shockmaster plays really consistent. He adds a lot of consistency to the deck, and if you top deck him, it's not even a bad top deck because he's a 17 floater, and normally you can just first turn set him, get him in grave, set up for later plays in the game, and he combos really well with Dragon and ties in with the synergy of that. So both of them together make really good plays. Next up, we play just 1 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Gorilla. I didn't like Gorilla that much. I found Gorilla to be a little cloggy at 2 to 3, so I didn't like it. I was playing 2 before a while back, and I didn't like it that much, but 1's been doing really well for me because Elemental Dragons are the top deck right now, and you don't really need the popping back row, but 1 is good to have when you do need to pop something. So you can search him off of Tanky later, or even sometimes you can just crash him over a monster to get his effect off to search for 1 Fire Formation. Next up, we play 2 Reborn Tengu. Tengu I've been enjoying a lot. Tengu, he's really good. He's a good first turn a good first turn summon. And he adds a lot of consistency as well, and he makes big plays later on, and it's good floater because it's nice to have a monster that you know you can attack and it won't matter what your opponent has. So it makes you feel safe. Next up, we play. This is new. I've been changing the build up. Now I'm playing 2 Effect Veiler. Before I wasn't playing Effect Veiler. These were Pot of Avarice and something else. But I didn't like the Avarice, so I cut that and whatever the other card was, I can't remember right now. But 2 Veiler. I haven't tested this yet, but I feel like it'll be good. Because a lot of decks. This can hit a lot of decks. If you're playing E-Dragons, you can drop it when they drop Dracostack. And then it's really good. So yeah, 2 Effect Veiler. And yeah. Next up we got 2 Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit, I love this card so much. It makes such good plays. Even when you don't have any more targets, it's still good because you can recycle your targets after you use the 1 set, because you only play 1 set of vanillas in this deck, and even after you use those, it's still really good because you can just use them over again, so the second one's never dead. And I really like opening this. I open this a lot more frequently than people would think, but it's really good. I love opening that first turn and then making a big play. My tech, I've been teching these I took these on Friday. 3 Gladiator Beast Andal. I was playing Gene Warped. You guys are probably wondering why I'm playing Gladiator Beast Andal, and I'll explain later. But Gladiator Beast Andal is really good. It's a Beast Warrior, so it's still your vanilla target. 1900 attack, 1500 defense. One reason this card's good is when they Book of Moon it and then try to attack over it. It actually has a viable defense. Unlike Gene Warped, it's only 100, so they can just run over it real easy. And yeah, so Gladiator Beast Andal's amazing. So yeah, really good card. And the other reason I play Gladiator Beast Andal is because you go Summon Rabbit first turn, special your 2, and then you can either overlay them or you can bounce them back to deck to special summon Esadari, which I play 1 of. And you guys are probably wondering why, and I'll explain more of that later when I get to it. But yeah, it's a really good play. It may seem bad, but it's really good because it's nice recycling your targets back to the deck, and then you can have them again for the second rabbit, so it doesn't even matter. And yeah, on to the spells. We play 3 Fire Formation Tenki. Tenki is the searcher of the deck. You have to play 3, you can't play any less. This card is too good, gotta have the 3. But yeah, I love Tenki. First turn, Tenki, search, and make plays. So yeah. Next up, we play 2 Fire Formation Tensu. Tensu's really good. It's your double summon. You get to summon an additional Beast Warrior once per turn, and all Beast Warriors gain 100. It's such good consistency. It adds a lot of big pushes and plays that you can make with the deck, like making Tiger King and then dropping a Tensu and then summoning like a Tengu from hand or something else, like a dragon, and then sending 2, make another play. It's really good. So 2 Tensu, that's all you need. 3's too cloggy. I tried 3 before, and I wouldn't play 1 because it's too needed. It's also really good when you open it first turn. So yeah, next up we got 2 Fire Formation Gyokkou. Gyokkou, I love this card. I've made so many people mad because I go first turn Gyokkou, they're important back row. I usually hit the good one. Phoenix Chains, Mirror Force, Warnings. They can't activate anything in response, or they can't activate the card you target, so it's a Night Beam, and it's really good. People ask me why don't I just play Night Beam over this. I shake my head because they're stupid. The reason you play Gyoku is because you can search it off of your monster's effects, which makes it really good. And plus, if your opponent has a Mirror Force and you make a Tiger King play, and then you set Gyoku and then activate, and then hit the Mirror Force, because that's their only set, they can't do anything, and then you can just swing with 23. So, same thing, like as if it was Z Prison or something, you could hit their really important cards that they only had one answer of, and then you can continue to make your plays. Next up, play 2 Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality is great, just adds consistency. You're not always going to special summon, so yeah. Next up, we have 2 Forbidden Lance. Lance is great. Card's really good. It's so good during damage step when your opponent attacks your bear or something and you have the Lance. It makes bear get over a lot of monsters it really shouldn't get over, because the 800 difference makes bear like really tangible with getting over like a lot of big monsters like that are 2400, and it makes it stupid. Because if you have a fire formation, then bear 17, and then you can land something with 2400 attack equivalent, and then drop it to 16. That's just stupid. I've done it so many times, and Lance is just such a good card in this deck. You need it. Next up, play 2 MST. I only felt the need for 2. The format, I usually find myself siding these out because E-Dragons are a big threat, and I hate that deck with a passion. So I usually side these out, and I side the Heavy Storm out. So yeah, these aren't really needed. But I keep the Gyokus because usually game 2, E-Dragons side in some back row. So I like having something that you can still use to hit that stuff. Next up for the Trinity, we have Dark Hole, Heavy, and Monster Reborn. Standard staples, all really good in their own way. You gotta have them all. And onto the traps, it's pretty solid. I really like this trap lineup. I'm probably not gonna change anything about the traps because I'm really enjoying it the way it is right now. 3 Fire Formation Tenzin. This card is really good. It's pretty much your Lance again. Makes your stuff bigger. Whenever you activate this, your monster pretty much gains 1000 right there. Because it gains 700, and then all Beast Warriors gain an additional 300, so it makes your monster really big. The only change I'd probably make in the trap is bumping this up to 3, because this card is so good. But, I cannot find the room right now, so I'll probably just keep this at 2 the way it is, and it's been doing fine. So, yeah. Next up, we got 1 Mirror Force. Mirror Force, I have always only liked 1. I didn't feel the need for 2. Because the other traps I'd rather have 2 of, so 1 Mirror Force is just fine. Next up, we got Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. The Solemn Duo. Both really good. Solemn Warning is still a good card even at 1. And then Solemn Judgment is just really good for your back row control and other stuff you don't want to come in effect. So yeah. Next up, we got 2 Torrential Tribute. Torrential's great. Really stops your opponent from committing to the board and really controls the game. And it's really good, especially if you have a Tengu on board. Just like whatever Torrential, it won't matter. I'll still get my monster, and then next turn I'll proceed to make a play. So when your opponent, your opponent's going to make a big push, you just Torrential them and punish them for overextending. So I really like Torrential in this deck at 2. Normally in my other decks I only play 1 of, but yeah. Next up, we play 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Bottomless Trap Hole, great card all around. Really good for stopping big summons that you don't want on the board. And then the last trap we play is 2-Dimensional Prison. I was playing Phoenix Chains a while back, but I cut them for Deep Prison because I felt like Deep Prison is more effective right now. Considering we are now maining the Effect Veiler, so I don't really feel the need for Phoenix Chain, especially when they can just continue to exceed. Like, the only reason I'd see Phoenix Chain being good is if they attack and then you can stop it by Phoenix Chaining and then the effect is negated all at once. But other than that, Deep Prison is so much better because you can just get that monster out of here. Plus Draco Sack can't be destroyed, so banishing it is always good. And this card's just so much better. It stops a lot of monsters from getting their effect. So, yeah, sorry this video is taking so long, guys. I just have to explain. So, on to the extra. We play 1 Gladiator Beast Essadari. Like I said, this card is really good. The reason I like getting this out is because it's a 25 beast. Oh man, if this was a beast warrior, this would have been so amazing. But it's a 25. It's really good to get out because first turn making a 25 monster and your opponent has nothing really to get over that. It forces your opponent to waste resources, and it won't really matter because sure you removed a rabbit just to get him out, but you bounce the targets back to the deck, so it doesn't matter. And he doesn't. He just contacts, so it's so good. And having a 25 is always good. It crashes with Stardust. It crashes with a lot of things. It's just really good to have on the board, and make sure your opponent really think out their plays because they see a 25. It's an opposing threat. So yeah. Next we got 1 Evil Swarm Ouroboros. The 3 level 4s. Ouroboros, number 69, Coat of Arms. I hate its English name. I'll continue to say this throughout my videos. I hate the English name. But this card is really good. I don't see a lot of people playing this card, and I don't see why, because OCG plays this card a lot. And it's so good. It negates all Exceeds. And then you can copy an Exceeds monster's effect. And he doesn't even have to detach to activate that effect. So, and plus he's a 26, so that makes him really good. And then the last one we play is 1 Shockmaster, because Shockmaster is good in every deck. It doesn't matter what you're playing. So yeah, that's it for the 3 level 4s aspect. Next up, for the Fire Fist, we got 2 Tiger King. Tiger King's great. When you summon him, you get your fire formations, and then I get his effect off a lot, where if he leaves the field, you can send 3 to special 2 Beast Warriors with the same attack from the deck in face of defense. I get that off so much, and it really amazes me because I see people who never use the effect, who rarely get it off, and I'm like, well, you're not playing the deck right if you can't cut this guy's effect off, because it's so easy to get off. And this card is really good. Plus, he can negate non-Beast Warriors. Face up. Like, on Thursday, I played a Monarch player, friend of mine, and he was playing Monarchs, and it just kept crashing over the Gotchi Gotchis. It's so good. I love it. Next up, the newly added Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Cardinal. Cardinal is so good. It's a broken Tiramisu where you can recycle your tankies, your fire formations, your fire fists, bears, all that. You can recycle that from your grave and or your side of the field back to the deck to bounce 2 cards. So you send 2, bounce 2. Card's really good. Plus you can do that. What is it? Is it from your hand? Use that from your hand. Sorry, let's focus here. No, you can't do it from your hand. Just from the field or grave. But anyway, this card's still good in that aspect. So yeah, Cardinal's great. Plus it has a 22 wall, so that's good. Next up, we play one Gemini Pearl. Gemini Pearl just because I wanted to have a big monster I could get over stuff with, and yeah, it's good. Plus, you have the room for it. Next up, one Utopia. Utopia is good just to control your field. One Daigusto Emerald. Emerald is so good in this deck because you can get both effects off, where you special summon a normal monster from the grave, or you just recycle your vanillas back to the deck for the second rabbit. One number 50 Black Shape of Corn. Black Shape's really good, gets over everything. That's a problem like Maestroke. And coincidentally, next up, one Maestroke. Really good still. One Abyss Dweller. In case of the Red and Mermail matchups, and I know people are going to start playing that a little bit more now that Battle Pack 2 came out. And the last monster we play in the extra is one God Cowboy. So that's it, guys, for the deck. Tell me what you think. If you haven't subscribed to me already, subscribe. I would much appreciate it. Thumbs up the video if you liked it or enjoyed it. And if you guys have a Fire Fist deck too, send me a link. I'd love to see it. I'm always open for ideas and suggestions. But yeah, if you guys like this deck, you should really. This deck is so fun to take to locals. I'd make it if I were you guys, and just test it out, and you'll enjoy it. I guarantee it. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and again, thumbs up the video. And see you guys next time in my next video. See ya.